Hello, folks. It's Chris Wyatt at the BRICS convention in Santa City, Johannesburg. An odd conglomeration of countries that started out as an acronym back in 2001 by a Goldman Sachs analyst who was trying to describe the emerging economies of the 21st century. And he talked about Brazil, Russia, India, and China. A few years later, South Africa was invited to join and became BRICS. And here we are, the 15th summit of BRICS, many years later. This is a grouping that doesn't have a formal treaty as such, but is seeking to become a counterweight in the global economic order against the established order, in particular the developed West. This morning started off with a business summit, and it's progressed pretty well, although interesting part of the conversation was listening to the panel members from the different countries. I'd have to say that the Brazilian was probably the most interesting in his approach, talking about farming and tariffs and barriers. And of course, those are serious trade concerns amongst BRIC members and around the world for that matter. But trade barriers, artificial and physical barriers, are put in place to prevent goods and services from entering one country to another. This is a significant issue here at the BRICS Summit, and it was discussed earlier this morning. I have to say that it's a full court press by the South African government, and kudos to them. They certainly have drawn a lot of attention with this summit. It's a big jewel in their crown to host this summit here in Sandton, and it was pretty interesting. I've never seen the Gripen fighters flying over the richest square mile of Africa, but did see that today as we see somebody's walked in behind me there. People not aware where they're at. But I did see two Gripen fighters doing air patrols over the Sandton City Convention Center. It was quite interesting to see that today. But as this conference progresses, bringing more updates and let you know what's going on. Of course, the big question with this BRICS summit early on was, would President Vladimir Putin attend the summit? Well, I guess that this has just become a walkway now, apparently. Wow, this other guy stood here for 15 minutes and did a broadcast, and nobody walked behind him. I start walking, just ignore the good-looking white guy. Anyway, but seriously, the Gripen fighters passing over was very interesting, providing an air cap security for this. Maybe that's a bit of overkill, but it certainly shows the forward foot that the South African government has put on this conference. They want to have a good event here in Sandton, and nothing happening. The media is in a media center below the convention center, so we're not actually in the room with folks. Not sure when interviews will be available, but we'll be keeping an eye on that and try to keep you updated on events as they unfold here at Sandton City in Johannesburg. This is Chris Wyatt reporting for Chris Wyatt Reporting. Catch you guys later. Thanks a lot.